Good day, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 edition of the Global Edu-Conclave. My name is NNAEMEKA from the Ambassadors College, Alta, Nigeria. Special thanks to the organizing committee for giving me this privilege to act as a keynote speaker at this very World Summit, themed the United Nations Sustainable Goals and the Roles of Educators. The global goals were adopted in 2015 by the United Nations with the aim of ending poverty, protecting the planet, ensuring that by 2030 all people, all humans enjoy peace and prosperity. As educators, we have a great role to play in achieving these SDGs, and this includes our contributions at ensuring universal access to inclusive and equitable quality education and learning, leaving no one behind. Education serves as an important means of implementation for sustainable human development, promoting mutual understanding, tolerance, friendship, and peace, as it brings a number of positive benefits, including aiding poverty reduction and enhancing economic growth. Now, let us look at the intricate relationship between the SDG 4, which is the inclusive and equitable quality education for all, and then the other 16 SDGs. Number 1. Goal 1. Education is critical to lifting people out of poverty. Goal 2. Education plays a key role in helping people move towards more sustainable farming practice or methods and in understanding nutrition. Goal 3. Education can make a critical difference to a range of health issues, including reproductive health, spread of diseases, healthy lifestyles, and well-being. Goal 4. Ensures inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Goal 5. Education for women and girls is particularly important to achieve basic literacy, improve participative skills and abilities, and improve life chances. Goal 6. Education and training increase skills and the capacity to use natural resources more sustainably and can improve hygiene. Goal 7. Educational programs, particularly non-formal and informal, can promote better energy conservation and uptake of renewable energy sources. Goal 8. There is a direct linkage among such areas as economic vitality, entrepreneurship, job market skills, and levels of education. Goal 9. Education is necessary to develop the skills required to build more resilient infrastructure and more sustainable industrialization. Goal 10. Where equally accessible, education makes a proven difference in social and economic inequality. Goal 11. Education can give people the skills to participate in shaping and maintaining more sustainable cities and to achieve resilience in disaster situations. Goal 12. Education can make a critical difference to production patterns, especially with regard to the circular economy, and to consumer understanding of more sustainably produced goods, and as well prevention of waste. Goal 13. Education is key to mass understanding of the impact of climate change and to adaptation and mitigation, particularly at the local level. Goal 14. Education is important in developing awareness of the marine environment and building proactive consensus regarding wise and sustainable use. Goal 15. Education and training increase skills and capacity to underpin sustainable livelihoods and to conserve natural resources and biodiversity, particularly in threatened environments. Goal 16, social learning is vital to facilitate and ensure participative, inclusive, and just societies, as well as social coherence. Goal 17, lifelong learning builds capacity to understand and promote sustainable development policies and practices. My contributions towards the development of my students are as follows. As an educator, I have been using different innovative teaching pedagogies, which includes the use of composed songs and mnemonics. I use composed songs and mnemonics to explain difficult concepts in chemistry to my students, thereby engaging them for all inclusive quality instructions and practices. I use personalized learning. Here, this particular teaching pedagogy it helps my students to learn better and more deeply. Okay? So my students have different educational needs. So I employ personalized learning where necessary, using the best method that suits each student and at their own pace. And this is to encourage better mastery and engagement. I use instructional scaffolded strategy. This particular method is peculiar. I use it particularly for the slow learners. I teach them how to solve a particular problem, offering them support where necessary, and afterwards allowing them to do the task on their own, so I could ascertain their level of understanding of the concepts. I also use grouping method. I group students into different groups. I task them in each group with learning the difficult and different concepts taught perhaps the previous classes, well enough to be able to explain it to another students or other students, and then assign them to different groups where they could explain their information to other students, having learned them, until every student has understood the concept in review. And I've noticed that while they teach, they learn better. I also use the blended learning method. This method provides students with a traditional classroom experience as well as online tools and learning opportunities. When in school session, I teach and evaluate my students in the classrooms. But during weekend holidays, I deliver lessons online using Zoom, WhatsApp, Google Classrooms, and then evaluate my students using quizzes. I also use project-based learning method. This project-based learning method helps my student to drive home their learning. This method helps my student to gain mastery through the application of their knowledge rather than just mere rote memorization. When I give them activities to do in classrooms, laboratories, or their timely projects, I make them work in groups so they could collaborate effectively. This helps them identify real-world problems, then develop a solution to these problems, thereby taking ownership of their learning. This approach has helped my students develop their research, critical thinking, problem solving, collaborative, and communicative skills. I also use the SMART learning methods. This SMART learning, which basically includes the use of smart boards, or interactive boards. It reflects how advanced technology enables learners, to digest knowledge and skills more effectively, efficiently, and conveniently. I use, this interactive board which contains different educative videos, animations, simulated practical sessions to teach students. It helps them to master even difficult topics in chemistry within a short period. And it also provides them with enhanced and interactive learning experience and eases the learning process. And of course, it ultimately helps me to save, share, and send lessons so I complete my syllabus or curriculum, promptly. I also use integrative and research-based learning method. This method helps my students to connect prior knowledge and experience they have learned, to support new knowledge and experience. Among other tasks, I have encouraged them to identify a problem, in their community, or perhaps maybe some environmental issues that is important to them, or environmental issues that are important to them. They design a plan and then find lasting solutions. By doing this, with guidance, they draw on their skills and apply them in new experiences, taking ownership of their learning. Now, as a life coach and a counselor, knowing the multiple challenges faced by many students across the globe while choosing a career for themselves, I have assisted many students within and outside my community to overcome these challenges, paid extra attention and guided them in picking the best career that suits their talent, skills, and then giving them the best platform to expose themselves without any inhibition. I have guided them on following the best practices, teaching them valuable life skills like communication, passion, organization, and presentation to bring out the best from them and help them achieve their goals. Now, as a coordinator or leader of co-curricular activities, I have motivated, influenced, and directed many students through an online mentorship programs on working together to achieve the goals of a team. I have taught students the art of problem solving, decision making, conflict resolution, understanding and managing changes and challenges, building quality relationship within teams, defining and identifying identities, and achieving tasks effectively. This has provided them with an opportunity to learn to identify and display effective communication and interpersonal skills. I have also taught them to lead by example in all they do, and this has actually helped them across in their learning. As a coordinator of school projects, especially the International School Award projects, my students were engaged in a research-based project tagged Technology Shaping the Future of Our Society. The students researched on the advent, impact, and future of information communication technology in the 21st century and how ICT has improved quality education delivery in some countries like India, the US, South Africa, and my home country, Nigeria. Also, students did a comparative study of the evolution and application of ICT from the 19th century to the 21st century in different sectors of human endeavors. This project was aimed at helping students to acquire problem-solving skills that will help them in future to solve real-world problems using technology. This project was tied to the SDG 4 and SDG 9. I have also creatively engaged my students through a whole school project tagged The Beauty and Wealth in Recycling, where students were taught how to manage waste bottles by converting them into useful products like Christmas trees, table flowers, Christmas wreath, among other aesthetic products. This project was aimed at enlightening students on the dangers of indiscriminate waste disposals and how this waste, especially the non-biodegradable plastic bottles, can be reused and recycled, and as well as foster collaboration among them. We do this every year to commemorate the World Creativity and Innovation Day, which is usually held on the 21st of April every year. to create awareness of the role of creativity and innovation in all aspects of human development. This project is tied to SDGs 3 and 9. Now, my basic contributions to the development of my community as an educator as follows. One, I have organized symposia to develop deep familiarity with my communities and many other communities around me, to sensitize them on the beneficial collaborations with schools to ensure sustainable community development. I have also organized general cleanup exercises to ensure clean and safe environment for all. I have provided cleaning materials like cutlasses, brooms, rakes, rubber gloves, and other cleaning materials. And I've also encouraged and mobilized volunteers like me to clean the community environment and also made provisions of waste bins as strategic locations for proper waste disposal. I have helped mobilize students and youths to help fill potholes, especially on our bad roads, to put them in good shape. I have periodically distributed food items to the orphanages, old people's home, and the poor in the community. And I usually do this during my birthdays, whenever I celebrate my birthday. I have also organized free tutorial lessons and classes for students in my community preparing to sit senior school examinations. And I have also recorded over 90% per session success rate. I have also helped students to source scholarship opportunities. I have trained over 2,000 teachers on soft skills like effective listening and communication, collaboration, empathy for others, among other soft skills. I have also trained teachers, in acquiring some hard skills. For example, the use of digital tools, educational application for teaching and learning. I have also trained teachers on how to use Canva applications for content creation, Zoom, WhatsApp, Google Classrooms for content delivery, and then quizzes for evaluation. As an educator, and as a coordinator of a social clubs, okay, in my community, in my school, I have also coordinated students and other volunteers to perform some social responsibilities. Okay, now the scout members oftentimes helps to ensure that there is a free flow of traffic in some of our congested roads. Members of the Red Cross Society help to administer first aid treatment to wounded individuals, wounded students, or sometimes in the case of accidents, okay, sometimes during inter-school competitions. Also, I have contributed to the development of education in my state, country, and the world at large. I have created some social platforms. I've created some platforms on Facebook, Instagrams, and YouTube channels. And this includes the STEAM for Global Education and the Science Villa, where I create and deliver content on science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics that center around academics, global education, co-curricular activities, and extracurricular activities that help educate both the teachers and the students and every other person from across the globe and the world at large, in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, ensuring all-inclusive quality education. I have also organized student exchange programs where I taught and encouraged collaboration among my students and students from other schools in the state, country, and the world at large. Among these are some of my international collaborative programs. I have coordinated projects in international schools award that encouraged and strengthened collaboration between my school and Poda School in India to enable students to understand the type of cuisines around the world and how food serves as an expression of cultural identity. Poda students taught my students how to prepare Indian cuisines, and my students also taught them how to prepare some Nigerian delicacies. Also, I have also encouraged collaboration between my students and other schools in outside my country. For instance, my students have also collaborated with students from Springmount schools in India in a project tagged "My Gender, Not a Disadvantage." This is to educate the students and, by extension, the whole world about the importance of gender equality as a fundamental human right necessary to promote a peaceful and prosperous world. This project was tied to the SDG 5, which is gender equality, and SDG 10, which is reduced inequality. I have also coordinated a project tagged "A Just World Begins with Me," active citizenship. This project was aimed at reminding students of their role in global affairs through active citizenship. Students were put through the process of electioneering, from the party membership registration, obtaining the expression of interest form, campaigning, accreditation, and to the casting of votes. This is to elect members of the Students' Representative Council, a body that represents the interest of the students in higher or secondary institutions. This project gave the students the opportunity to understand the need to exercise their franchise and also understand their role in societal development through active participation. Also, during this project, my students had the opportunity to visit the high courts in this area, particularly, specifically, the Ogun State High Court located in Ota, where they were briefed on state, national, and international court proceedings. Okay, indeed, it was an experience that greatly influenced the sense of leadership and responsibility. Now, as part of global education that encourages learning foreign languages, I have coordinated a project tagged La Langue est la vie, which means language is life, where students were encouraged to promote foreign languages, for example, French languages, and understand the importance of learning foreign languages. This project gave my students the opportunity to interact with so many other students from other invited schools across my state and country in the French language. Okay, so they also acted dramas, they did a whole lot of activities in French, using French language as their medium of communication. This was indeed a wonderful experience for them. So these are some of my major contributions to the development of education for my students in my community, my country, and the world at large. So once again, I say congratulations to every one of us for these achievements, and I want to encourage other educators out there to contribute meaningfully to the development of the society and the world at large, and as well helping to to achieve these sustainable development goals by the United Nations. Okay, and with this, with quality educations, I believe that achieving the 17 sustainable development goals is what possible with quality education. So once again, thank you very much and have a wonderful celebration once again.